In Greek mythology, Kratos was known as the supreme god of strength and power, and stood out as a great warrior very famous for his skills in battle, and for his great sense of justice. The young god was the son of the beautiful Oceanid Styx and the great Titan Pallas, who also sired Zealous, god of discord, Nike, goddess of victory, and Bia, goddess of violence. From an early age, Kratos was interested in becoming a great soldier, and so from a very young age he began to practice the art of war. He trained with the best soldiers of Olympus and stood out alongside other great gods of the time. Stygia was always present in the lives of her children and taught them to be loyal to each other, which made them develop an unbreakable bond. Kratos was very close to his brothers, and together they received the best military education and instruction, which years later would serve them on the battlefield and many journeys they would make together. He was a very fair, strong, and powerful young man, so he was considered a faithful element in Olympus. In addition, Kratos was always loyal to the great god Zeus, and his support for his kingdom was unconditional, even on the battlefield. Several years before, Kratos' mother had witnessed the beginning of a war between the great gods, a dispute that would lead to the end of several titans and primordial gods. So, on the advice of his father, the ocean titan, he joined the side of Zeus. For it had been predicted that Zeus would be the victor of the war, so Stygia showed her loyalty to the god, giving him her full support, and that of her husband Pallas. Thus, the Oceanid thought that the best way to protect her children was to entrust them to Zeus, to be part of his side and fight in future battles. So Stygia gave her 4 sons to prepare and fight in the great war that was about to happen. Stygia had secured her family's future, for if the Olympians won the battle, she would be one of Zeus' most important and prestigious allies, and her beloved sons would be the most powerful of the heroes. Thus, as time went by, Titans and Olympians unleashed a devastating battle, the Titanomachy. Power was the main reason for the conflict, as Zeus had usurped the throne from his father Kronos, who intended to assassinate him. The conflict lasted more than 10 years, and Kratos fought hand to hand with the great Titans who sought to defeat the gods of Olympus and showed himself to be a capable, cunning, and brave god alongside his brothers, as Zeus had used them in the war as a single powerful weapon. Kratos always remained on the side of Zeus, demonstrating his great loyalty and audacity, giving him his support at all times, fulfilling his designs and punishments, and above all verifying that there is justice on Olympus. The warrior god of strength always showed a tough character, being highly respected in the Olympic side. He always wore neat clothes and his armor was one of the most powerful armor among the gods, as well as his sword and his great shield. After the terrible battles that aroused in Olympus, with much more tranquility, Zeus entrusted the Titan Prometheus and his brother Epimetheus to populate the earth with all kinds of wild creatures. The god had entrusted the brothers the creation to their great imagination and ingenuity. Thus, both Titans began to sculpt clay creatures of various sizes and shapes, and gave them gifts and virtues. In this way the whole earth was populated with hundreds of creatures that roamed the skies, seas, and land. Both saw how the whole earth was populated with hundreds of beasts, but none walked upright or had reasoned, so they decided to create a creature superior to the wild creatures of the beginning, and so they took clay and sculpted humans and endowed them with much knowledge. Little by little they began to teach them everything they needed to survive and evolve like the gods themselves, until Prometheus thought of giving them something extremely valuable, something considered divine. Thus, he climbed up to Olympus and stealthily took a torch with the fire from the forge of Hephaestus. However, as soon as he tried to return the flame to earth, he was discovered. Zeus realized what a serious crime Prometheus had just committed, so he called Kratos to be in charge of capturing the Titan. Meanwhile, Zeus went to find Hephaestus and ordered him to make powerful, unbreakable iron chains for Prometheus' punishment, and Prometheus did so. Kratos stops Prometheus and immediately takes him to the feet of Zeus, and Zeus tells the Titan that for his disobedience he will be condemned to be tied to a large rock on the mountain, and that every day he would be visited by a huge eagle that would peck his liver every day of his life, feeling a wrenching pain for eternity, because his liver would regenerate every day.